Our goal is really to help all students customize a program that's going to work for them and to finish it as quickly as they can or at the pace that's going to work for them.
Without online classes, I really could not go back and further my education in qualitative research because it would not be feasible at all. I'm not willing to sacrifice my personal time because I want to educate myself just for my benefit.
All the professors are supportive and you're able to customize it not only to your schedule but also to your research interest. You truly are connected to individuals in the class but also the professor. Life happens. If there's setbacks or if you just are having a bad week, they were understanding. I don't think I lost anything.